let's settle into the space. Maybe take a deep breath. Let everything go from this past week. Everything you have to worry about. Let's just be present here in this moment. The words of Yedid Nefesh can be found on page 128.
Yedid Nefesh Am HaRachaman Mishoch Avdah Beretzonach Yarutz Adam Kilmoaya Ishtachaveh Miuradara Yerev Lo Yediduham Virofetzu Ilo Adam La 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 la. Let's sing this part. La 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 la.
Welcome, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Nice to see you all. Let's take another deep breath in and settle into our space together. Let's take a deep breath in, hold for a second, and let it go. Letting go of anything you might be worried about, anything that you need to let go of this week. Let's let Shabbat be our break from this world. And how good it is that we're all able to be here together, and let's welcome in that piece of Shabbat together with Hinei Matov on the same page, page 128.
Hine matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad. 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 Hine matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad.
A poem for Shabbat by Stacy Robinson. And so we stand on the edge of this week, pebbles strewn at our feet, the distance between us and an endless heartbeat, the difference like day, like night, like light and darkness, like God who separates the day and brings us ever and always to this holy edge. To this Shabbat where we stand trembling with effort, weary from a week filled with noise and action and movement, restless and driven from one moment to the next until we are brought to this edge, this endless and always edge, to this Shabbat, sacred and at peace. We pause, we breathe, at rest, separate, together with God, together with one another, and a flicker flame of candlelight in the setting of the sun, from one breath to the next, with one heartbeat. We stand on that edge, and we cross into the infinite as one, into peace and into Shabbat. It's my pleasure to invite up Michael, who will be lighting our candles this evening and sharing a milestone with us. It's on, yeah.
Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. You're going to light your candle. Or you can use it. Look at it.
It doesn't work.
Well, it's a little tricky. You can try this too.
I can, okay.
So just be careful.
Fall off.
Just be careful. And we'll bring Shabbat in. And we'll join together in the blessing on page 120. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu
Baruch
b'mitzvot.
atah Adonai.
We'll start over.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you so much.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Did you want to share with us your milestone? Okay. Oh, you want to grab something? Hold on just a second. Here, I can hold it. I can hold it. There you go.
Today, exactly today, I have been clean and sober exactly 15 years. And that's what I'm celebrating. I hope you'll celebrate with me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Amazing. Yasher Koach. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Here you go. Chaim Nachman Bialik writes, "The sun on the treetops no longer seen. Come, gather to welcome Shabbat, our queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed with angels, a cohort of peace and of rest. Draw nigh, O queen, and here abide. Draw nigh, O Shabbat bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace. We've welcomed Shabbat with song and with prayer, and home we return, our heart's gladness to share. Our table is set, our candles are lit, the tiniest corner for Shabbat made fit. O day of blessing, O day of rest, sweet day of peace, be forever blessed. Bring ye angels, you angels of peace." Let's join together in the words of L'cha Dodi, inviting in our Shabbos bride. L'cha Dodi can be found on page 138, and we'll be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, and I'll invite us to rise on the last verse.
Ooh. No, I don't know what happened. Close enough. Ya la 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 chadodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat. B'nei Shabbat nekabe. Ya la 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 chadodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat. B'nei Shabbat nekabe. Shamor v'zachor b'dibuh dechai.
face the door.
Bohi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha uv'sola, tochem ulei am segula. Bohi hala, bohi hala, la la la, la 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 haloni. Let me hear you. La 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 la, likatala, la 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 la, b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabe, la 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 haloni.
Don't sit down just yet. Let's welcome one another. Let's say Shabbat Shalom to our friends joining us online. Let's turn to someone, say Shabbat Shalom to someone next to you. Give them a hug. Show them some Kol Ami love, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. How are you? Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom again. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom again. Back to our seats, but don't sit down just yet. We're going to be moving into Baruch. Everyone, let's turn to page 146 for the Baruch.
La 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 la.
seated. Let's read together at the top of page 149. Page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day turns to night. Boreyor v'alayla.
In a moment, we'll all close our eyes and become one in a chorus of kolot, of voices, declaring this truth that holds this universe together, that everything, our connected network of life, all comes from one source. The words for Shema can be found on page 152. If it is your custom, I will invite you to rise. Turn to page 154, and we'll chant the words of the Ve'ahavta together.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol vavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavcha Hayom Al Levavecha Nantam Levanecha ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, and with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words that I command you today and teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or whether you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands and keep them at the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them in the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Let's join together in our song of freedom. That vision of a promised land that we are still marching towards, Mi Chamocha, can be found on page 158.
La 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 Let's hear as you sing Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah zehi lo rozeh belech, Torah zehi lo rozeh belech. Malchutecha ra'u b'aynecha, bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Se'eri anu ve'amru Anu ve'amru Adonai Elohu le'olam va'ed Adonai Elohu le'olam va'ed.
I'm going to hand things over to Avishai for a moment, who's going to introduce us to a nigun.
A nigun is a melody. That's it.
A wordless melody.
Anytime you hear a yai biddy bye bye or a yai die die or a la la la, that is a nigun. And this nigun, I'm down a string, so forgive me if I'm sounding a little off. This nigun will help us in a minute. You may have heard it before. It sounds like this. It goes, lie, 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 lie. Let's try that. Lie, 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 and again. Lie, 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 one more time. Lie, 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 lie. That's beautiful. Let me hear just you now.
back of your mind. We'll come back to that in just a moment. Tzvia Rubens writes, "You are my neshama, the eternal flame of my heart. I sit here, my mouth open wide in preparation of speaking your praise. Blessed are you, the one who was in relationship with my mothers and my fathers, my ancestors. I am filled with awe as I draw closer to your majesty. Each droplet of rain, each sparkle of the evening stars reminds me of you, my infinite judge. And with each breath I pray to you, O Adonai. See me favorably as you did with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Cherish my contributions as you did with Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Trust in my strength as you did with Shiphrah and Puah, as they delivered the deliverer who was slow with tongue as I am this evening. Grant me the wisdom to lead with a conviction like my mothers, Miriam and Devorah, or as I find myself like Joseph in disputes with my brothers and sisters. You are showing me your path, my eternal flame, and together we will walk onward towards holiness, towards eternity."
Ya la la, ya la la, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la, la la la, la la la, la 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 la, la la la, la 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 la. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There's a song on the wind and a joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, shattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day, and eternity utters a day. Now that melody with Adonai Svatai, let's try it. Adonai
I'll invite everyone to please rise, page 164.
Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha Adonai Svatai Svatai Tita Ufi Yagi Tehila. Let's just hum it now. Let's just hum it.
The words for the Amidah can be found on page 166. I invite you to use this time to daven silently, using the words of our tradition or the words that are in your heart. And when you are finished, you may be seated.
והגיון ליבי לפניך, יהיו לרצונים רפים רפים, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי, יהיו לרצונים רפים רפים, והגיון ליבי לפניך, יהיו לרצונים רפים רפים, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי.
Double portion of Torah. Achrei Mot immediately follows the death of Aaron's sons and institutes Yom Kippur, rules about ritual sacrifices, and sets up a holiness code around sexuality. Kedoshim opens with the injunction, "You shall be holy, for I, your God, am holy." Kedoshim also contains the well-known command, "Love your neighbor as yourself." Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. This verse, according to the words of Rabbi Hillel, is the summation of our sacred text. In other words, this is the central command of our Torah, to show love for one another. And indeed, our parasha is full of many examples, ways to show love, including the mitzvah of peyah, not fully harvesting all of one's crops so that the poor can come and collect food for themselves, to treat others fairly in our personal interactions and the adjudication of law. And we see the command we see most often repeated in our Torah once again, to not oppress the stranger. God's opening words in Kedoshim tell us to be holy, full stop. The Torah then goes on to list a number of things one might do to be holy. But what's the underlying meaning of what it actually means to be holy? Alan Moranis, prolific author on the world of contemporary Musar practice, writes that holiness comes from a recognition or a realization that the self is no different from the other. From his words, we might understand that a practice of being holy means embodying that message contained here within our parasha, to love our neighbors just as we do ourselves. However, I can imagine for many of us, myself including, especially at this time of such increasing polarization, tribalization, and misunderstanding, to live out the Torah's call can be quite a challenge. How do we show love for a neighbor whose words, beliefs, or actions might not show any love or concern from our own well-being? How do we embody that commandment to love our neighbor when more often than not, we see them as an enemy? And for the record, I'm not speaking of an actual enemy, someone who poses a direct threat or who is in a position to physically harm us, but I'm speaking about the ways we often retreat from the other, seeing them as even potentially less than ourselves. It's very easy to dismiss those whose politics, religious beliefs, and ways of understanding are unlike our own. And sometimes that move towards dismissal is not always without merit, as perhaps their views rob us of our own sense of dignity, understand us through a lens of bigotry, or even scapegoat us. So how can I show love or model compassion and curiosity for the individual who says that my politics, my life, my identity is immoral or might lead to the breakdown of society? Does the Torah really expect me to extend compassion to someone like that? Rabbi David Leon writes in Vayikra Rabbah, a commentary on Leviticus, that the rabbis use the word here perush in Hebrew to explain how we might gain salvation or human holiness. Perush means separate. If we substitute separate for holy in our parashah, the verse takes on a new meaning. You shall be separate, for I am separate. To be separate is the key to humanly holy. I read it this way. The key to being humanly holy is living above that fray. The entire holiness code separates human behaviors from the fray by lifting us up to new standards of behavior. In Vayikra Rabbah 24, we read, "The Blessed One said to Moses, say to Israel, just as I am Perush, you shall be Perush. And just as I am holy, so too shall you be holy. That is what is written, you shall be holy." In our Midrash, this verse implies an understanding of this separation which must take place prior to entering that space of holiness. We must be conscious that our commandment to be holy is not an easy task. It requires us to step outside the otherwise normal ways of feeling. It is a call to higher action. To separate ourselves, or to be perush, is not to withdraw or isolate, but rather to elevate. The rabbis aren't asking us to step away from society, but to step above its basic instincts, resentment, dismissal, and tribalism. So how do we do this practically when we're surrounded by voices that provoke, dismiss, or even attack us? One answer can come through a practice of musar, this ethical self-development which is rooted in traits like rachamim, compassion, and savlanut, patience. The goal is not to agree with or excuse harmful views, but to respond to them in a way that maintains our dignity and theirs. The 19th century Musar teacher, Rabbi Simcha Zivel Ziv, the Alter of Chelm, taught that the highest form of compassion is not pity, but curiosity. When we are truly curious about another person's story, even when that story feels antagonistic to our own, we create the space for something sacred to emerge. Understanding. Not agreement, understanding. That might seem small, but asking ourselves, what is this person afraid of? And what are they trying to protect? Is already a move towards holiness, because it transforms the person from an object of anger into a subject of divine complexity. For they too are mirror reflections of the same divinity that is within me and you. This is what it means to love your neighbor as yourself. Not to just treat them well, but to see in them what we see in ourselves: vulnerability, complexity, and also the capacity for change. Loving the neighbor who loves us is easy. Loving the neighbor who misunderstands or even fears us is hard. But that is the essence of holiness. It requires a separation from instinct, from reaction, and from the fray. It requires discipline and practice, and most of all, faith in the image of God in every human being. So this Shabbat, I invite us all to practice just one small act of holiness. Think of someone you might otherwise dismiss, or maybe you dismissed someone earlier today. Perhaps you've argued with them online. Perhaps you avoid them at family gatherings. Perhaps they've said something that has made you feel unseen. What would it be like not to excuse, not to agree, but to simply grow curious about their story, and to extend compassion, the same compassion you would hope for if you were misunderstood? That is what it means to be holy. Shabbat Shalom. At this time, we are in the season of counting the Omer. This evening is day 27. If you would please turn to page 570 and please rise for the counting of the Omer, page 570. The blessing is also on the screen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav al sfirat ha'omer hayom shiv'a ve'esrim yom shehem shlosha shavuot ve'shisha yamim la'omer. Today is 27 days, which is 3 weeks and 6 days of the Omer, and you may be seated.
Hineni muchanum zuman, hineni muchanum zuman, hineni muchanum zuman, hineni muchanum zuman.
At this time, we call to mind all of those in our community who are in need of healing. Their names will appear above on the screen. I will invite anyone, if there is someone whom you are praying, someone who is on your heart, to please share their names with us.
Cantor Benny Meisner.
I'll add my aunt, Sandy Sherrill, to the list. The words for Misha Barak can be found on page 371.
The ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikol habracha. It's those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Sending a refuah shlema, speedy healing to all of those on our hearts. This Sunday is also Mother's Day, and so I want to offer a special Misha Berach for our mothers and our grandmothers in the community. Misha Berach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah hu yavarech et kol imotenu v'kol savotenu. May the Holy Blessed One who blessed our ancestors, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless all of our mothers and grandmothers with strength, with love, and with joy. May they delight in children who grow to be independent and confident, yet always find their way back to mother's embrace for comfort and connection. May they be cherished by children who recognize their wisdom, their courage, and their grace. May our mothers and grandmothers be granted the strength to love beyond measure, the patience to guide through challenges, and the compassion to forgive with open hearts. May they find joy in every season of motherhood, from the sleepless nights to the proud milestones, and savor the beauty of each passing phase. May their journey as mothers and grandmothers fill their hearts with deep fulfillment, with pride, and with a lasting peace. And may their love echo beyond the generations, a blessing that never fades. V'nomar, Amen.
Amen.
It is now my pleasure to invite up Jane with some announcements.
I have to turn the mic on. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
I'm Jane Drucker, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Kol Ami, I want to welcome you to our congregation. And I want to thank our still student rabbi, but almost full rabbi, C.J. Mays. Yeah. For leading tonight's service and for reminding us that we can always make the choice to be holy. I'd also like to thank our song leader, Avishai Soul, and of course, Lisa Edwards at the piano. And thank you to Travis Smith for our audio video, for Leonard Silic for helping us set up tonight's oneg, and Adam Rottenberg for everything. Adam's our Superman. We got a couple of things coming up. The next Shabbat hike is Saturday, May 17th. That's a week from tomorrow at 9 a.m. through Griffith Park. The next book circle is also on May 17th at 3 p.m. online. We're going to be discussing The Ice Cream Queen of Orchard Street by Susan Jane Gilman, and if you've ever had Carvel ice cream, you will enjoy this book. If you've ever had ice cream, you may enjoy this book. On Sunday, May 18th, student rabbi C.J. Mays will become Rabbi C.J. Mays. Hey. We're so proud of you. For more information on how to attend Rabbi Mays' ordination, either in person or online, please reach out to CJ. He's right over there. On May 20th, please join us in person with the LA-based organization Days of Dialogue for a thoughtful discussion regarding Israel and Zionism. They're an amazing group. They lead amazing discussion groups. They create a safe space, and I highly recommend joining this activity. It doesn't say exactly when or how, but I assume it's on the website? 7 p.m. on the 20th, and I guess in person. Do we have to register? We have to register, don't we? Okay. If you possibly can, register so we know how many facilitators to bring in. Our next gentle chair yoga is Saturday, May 31st at 9:45 a.m., followed immediately by Song Circle at 11 a.m., and our transgender non-binary group at 12:30 p.m. We've got a new community group, the Justice League. I don't think that comes with spandex and tights, but it may. On May 31st, I'm sorry, I'm jumping a line here. The Justice League will hold its first meeting also on May 31st at 10 a.m., so you do have to choose between all those previous things I just told you about and being a member of the Justice League. We invite all of those who want to collaborate to make a difference in our world. This is not going to be this will not be the only meeting of the Justice League, so come if you'd like to be at the initial meeting, but there'll be other opportunities. We also have a bunch of activities going on during WeHo Pride on May 31st and June 1st. We will again have a booth on Santa Monica Boulevard, and we'll be marching in the parade. Kol Ami is going to go to the theater. We're seeing the musical parade at the Amundsen Theater on Sunday, June 22nd. Tickets are available on our website, which I will tell you about in a minute. And of course, save the dates for the weekend of June 27th to the 29th for our 3-day celebration of Rabbi Resnick's installation and our annual Kol Ami Gala. More information on all of these events and so much more, including registrations for events that require registrations, are on our website. And the website is, say it with me if you know it, kol-ami.org. That's kol-ami.org. Thank you for being here tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
There you go. Thank you so much. Oop. Okay. Oop, thank you. I also want to extend some thanks. Thank you to to Avishai and Elisa, our amazing musical team, for bringing a Shabbat in with me. Also want to say thank you again to Travis for all of the amazing stuff he does, keeping our slides, our AV going. Also say thank you to Leonard for setting up our amazing oneg we'll enjoy momentarily. And of course, always, always thank you to Adam for keeping our ship afloat. All right, let's turn to page 586. I will invite you to rise for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני ומלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who have passed recently and in seasons past. At this time, we recognize those who are in a period of Shloshim and Shiva, Marvin Nodif and Mark Rosenblum. At this time, we also mark the yardsites of Stephen Kreisel, Eva Rogolsky, Jonathan Keynes, David Siegel, Luke Thornton, Richard Link, Elizabeth Levy Heyman, Daniel J. Kaplan, Rose Elkins, Mimi Newell, Amalia Levy, Nathan Davis, Becky Davidson, Marilyn Barnett, and Dan Osborne. If you are in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit at this time, I invite you to please rise and share the name of your loved ones. And I invite everyone to please rise in support of our mourners. Mourners Kaddish can be found on page 598. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemeraba Be'alma Divra Hirute v'yamlich Malchute B'chai Echon v'yom Echon D'chei D'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala u'vizman Kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabava Ve'omei Alami Almaya Yit Barak V'yish Tabak V'yit Pa'ar V'yit Ramam V'yit Naseh V'yit Hadar V'yit Haleh V'yit Halal Shmei D'Kudasha B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tush B'chata V'nechemata Ta'amiran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imromav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'imru Amen. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Since you're all standing, I'm going to invite you, if you are comfortable, to put your arms around one another. It's our tradition here to show some love to each other, and we'll join together in the words of Oseh Shalom.
Say shalom bimromav, uyazeh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yahze Shalom, Yahze Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yahze Shalom, Yahze Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yahze Shalom, Yahze Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael.
Let's gather around up here for Kiddush and Hamotzi. We are.
How long a version are we doing?
Do we want to do the long version or the short version? How are you feeling? Right here.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher lesiyat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidasha mikol hamim V'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mikadesh ha-shabbat. Amen.
And Yalchaim. And hello, new challah cover.
Oh. What a beautiful challah.
All right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ha-motzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Shabbat Shalom to everyone joining us online. Good Shabbos, everyone. Please join us in the back for Oneg. Please take a piece.